If you look closely at the forests and suburbs north of Kansas City, you can find massive concrete ruins hiding in plain sight. They are the last physical remains of a high-speed rail empire that has been almost entirely swallowed up by the modern landscape. In the early 1900s, downtown Kansas City was bursting at the seams. The population was booming, but the city was boxed in. To the north sat the Missouri River, and beyond it, a rural landscape with virtually no paved roads. Traveling to neighboring cities like St. Joseph meant relying on heavy, coal-fired steam locomotives. The journey was loud, covered passengers in soot, and could take up to 3 hours to cover just 60 miles. That geographical chokehold finally broke with the Armour-Swift Burlington Bridge. When it opened in 1911, this massive steel structure featured a dedicated upper deck designed specifically for electric rail cars to cross the wide river. With the river finally spanned, engineers and investors suddenly had a clear path into the Northland. The physical barrier was gone, clearing the way for a completely new kind of regional transit. That opening led to the creation of the Kansas City, Clay County, and St. Joseph Railway. Backed by $5 million in out-of-state capital from Eastern bankers, it quickly became known as the Red Line. The network pushed out of the Kansas City grid, crossed the river, and forked into a massive Y-shape. This route required 108 concrete arches, and unlike city streetcars, was built to heavy steam railroad standards using deep rock ballast. Passengers boarded imposing steel coaches painted a signature maroon. Departing downtown, these massive trains had to operate on the city's 600-volt electrical grid, forcing a slow, deliberate crawl through the urban streets. Once they cleared the city limits, the voltage doubled. The Red Line was engineered from the ground up to dominate regional travel. Following the left fork of the system, the 52-mile northern branch tracked directly toward St. Joseph. As the heavy cars left the Kansas City grid, motormen opened the throttles. Reaching the geographic flats near Dearborn and Fawcett, the trains ran at maximum electrical capacity. Powered by their massive electric motors, these passenger cars hit cruising speeds of 70 to 75 miles per hour across the open rural stretches. The entire run took just 2 hours. It was a clean, cinderless ride, bypassing the soot and noise of traditional steam locomotives and draining older railroads of daily commuters. The St. Joseph branch proved electrified interurban railways ran faster, cleaner, and on more frequent schedules than the heavy steam trains that had dominated the previous century. Back at the main junction, the network's right fork pushed 27.7 miles out to the east. This branch terminated in the resort town of Excelsior Springs. Thousands rode the Red Line to local spas and grand hotels every weekend. The route also integrated the surrounding rural population into the city's economy. Farmers drove their horse-drawn buggies to local way stations, hitched them out back, and rode the electric train directly into downtown Kansas City to shop. The railway even carried modern utilities into these agricultural areas. Massive power stations built to run the trains provided the first electric lines to neighboring farms. By providing direct commuter access and exporting the electrical grid, the Eastern Branch established the modern framework for suburban living in Clay County. By 1923, the Red Line was generating over $1 million in annual passenger receipts, yet its period of dominance was remarkably short. The state began pouring concrete for hard-surfaced rural highways. Almost overnight, the affordable internal combustion engine and the personal automobile gave travelers the freedom to dictate their own schedules. Ridership plummeted. Unable to maintain its massive infrastructure on a fraction of the ticket sales, the railway defaulted on its fixed debt payments in the fall of 1930. The final trains ran in March 1933. The closure was barely a blip in local papers, entirely overshadowed by the national bank holidays and the crushing economic weight of the Great Depression. Engineered at immense cost to conquer the heavy steam locomotive, the Red Line was rendered obsolete in just 20 years by cheap asphalt and the mass production of cars. Today, you can still trace the ghost of the Red Line if you know how to read the modern landscape. When the tracks were ripped up, utility companies purchased the right-of-way easements. Those long street corridors of modern high-voltage power lines cutting through the suburbs often perfectly follow the old railbeds. You can also find physical artifacts repurposed for public use. In Liberty, The massive concrete Luton arch bridges that once carried 70-mile-per-hour trains now serve as quiet crossings for paved pedestrian greenways. The trains ran for only 2 decades, but the path they carved permanently dictated the direction and flow of residential development north of the Missouri River. This footprint is our map. In our upcoming episodes, we'll follow these exact routes outward from the city grid to uncover local histories of liberty, the Excelsior Springs resorts, and the forgotten St. Joseph terminus.